I'm Mangen Bernard. I enjoy teaching mathematics to the younger people because it makes them think creatively, reason logically, be careful, and become orderly in whatever they do. Above all, it lays the foundation of all their ambitions. So always stay tuned for each and every program that goes on. Last time, we looked at supplementary angles, corresponding angles, and I left you with an assignment. This was number 1 of our assignment, whereby we need to see what you could have written as your correct responses. Because I know whoever I teach makes an informed decision. Let me hope the answer you have there is the best or is correct. Back to our assignment. The number I left on was, what angle is an eighth of its supplement? What angle is an eighth of its supplement? We are still continuing with the angles because it is a bit wide. This topic is covered in P6 and it expands in P7. So the content of P6 has been reviewed, and we are going to continue to look at also that content of P7. So Rome was not built in one day. We move slowly by slowly, but we must reach the shores. So back to our question once again. What angle is an eighth of its supplement? We discussed last time, but we shall use the same procedure to answer our question. And I normally encourage people that with such a question, whereby you don't know the angle and you even don't know the supplement, it is better to assume or to let. So we continue. What angle is an eighth of its supplement? According to our question, try to interpret it and you bring it in a simpler way. We shall use the possible methods I may assume you could have used to see whether you came to the same answer. So we shall assume let the supplement be x. So once we know the supplement, it will be very easy for us now to know the angle, because they are saying what angle is an eighth of its supplement. Once the supplement is x, then our angle is just an eighth of its supplement. An eighth of its supplement. Since you know the supplement, it is easier to get the angle. Remember, the angle plus its supplement you must get 180 degrees. We shall now have to work out this one. When we get x plus 1 out of 8x, this one gives us 180 degrees. Only this reasoning you'll be awarded with a method mark 1 for this effort. Mathematics has marks. Any slight reasoning, you get a mark. They appreciate your effort. That is fantastic. So you will get your method mark 1 for the correct formation of the equation. From there, you will now solve. You can use the usual method we have always used. For instance, let's give this x a denominator as which is 1. Every whole number has a denominator as 1. We also give that one 1. So the lowest common denominator of 1 and 8 is 8. Therefore, we get x out of 1 times our lowest common denominator, which is 8. And thereafter, you don't forget, plus, this is now 1 out of 8x times 8. This one gives us 180 degrees out of 1 times also 8. We have multiplied all the terms by the lowest common denominator. And here, when we multiply x out of 1 times 8, we get 8x. Plus, we now have 1 out of 8x times 8. We have a number that can divide both this 8 and it can also divide that, and that is 8. Divide this 8 by 8, you get 1. 8 divided also by 8, you also get 1. And here we have to multiply. So you should always have your side work. I'll do it from here. When we multiply 8 times 0, we shall get 0. 8 multiplied by 8, we get 64. We shall write 4 and we move with a 6. 8 times 1, we get 8. Plus the 6 we moved with, and we shall get 14. These are degrees. So here we shall have x times 1, which is x, which is equal to 180 degrees. Multiplied by 8, we shall have 1,440 degrees. The next step, when we get 8x plus x, we shall get 9x. Which is equal to 1,440 degrees. At this point, we shall need to find the value of x alone. And therefore, we shall divide both sides by 9, the coefficient. You must cancel. Divide this 9 by 9 once. Divide also this one by 9 once. 9 divided by 9 once. I will take the two numbers. 14 goes into, 9 goes into 14. How many times? You will find that 9 goes into 14 once. And you remain with 5. So that 5 which is left is carried forward to the next digit. And this number becomes 54. When you divide 54 by 9, you get 6. Then 0, divide it also by 9, you get 0. Very soon we shall look at multiples. I'll try to give you hints on how to find multiples. I use those simpler issues or ways to see that everybody succeeds. So here we shall remain with x, which is equal to 160 degrees. The value of x is 160 degrees. Back to our formation. Here, we assumed that the supplement is x. And once the supplement is x, the angle will be an eighth of the supplement. So we have just got the supplement, we don't know the angle. And therefore, we need to find our angle now. So our angle is an eighth of the supplement, which is equal to an eighth times 160 degrees. I reduce, or I will have to divide this 8 by 8, and I will get 1. 8 divided by 8 is 1. I will take 16. 16 divided by 8. I cross it out. I cancel, not even. It is division, so you cancel. You don't cross. So 16 divided by 8, you get 2. There is nothing that remains. Then in front there we have a 0. 0 also divided by 8. Cancel it. 0 divided by 8 is 0. Therefore, our angle becomes, when you get 1 times 20 degrees, we shall end up with 20 degrees. As I told you, you must be very observant. Be very keen on each and every step. This trains us to be very careful on each and everything we do. Some people normally ask, this mathematics we normally do in class, no, does not apply in our offices. No. This one trains us to reason logically. Be careful. Concentrate. Sometimes you need to endure. Some questions need endurance up to the last step. So you must be patient so that you succeed. So the angle which is an eighth of its supplement is now 20 degrees. You can try to prove if you don't mind. But when it's an exam, there is no need. So that means when the supplement is 160 degrees, the angle is 20 degrees. So when you get the supplement, which is 160 degrees, plus the angle, you will end up with 180 degrees. So our answer is very correct. Let's also use other methods. I will have to rub here, and I see your views. If you got 20 degrees, you are very fantastic. Bravo. Next time, I'll give you a gift. So, if all your steps were like that, well and good. Let's look at another alternative. I said I use simpler approaches to see that everybody achieves. And you must have also maybe used the approach we are going now to use. So the other approach is you go back to your question. What angle is an eighth of its supplement? That angle is just an eighth, is 1 out of 8 of its supplement. That angle is just an eighth of its supplement. It simply means the angle is smaller than its supplement. It's just 1 part out of 80 parts. Just 1 part out of 80 parts of its supplement. So we can say, let this angle be x. We can this time begin with the angle according to the way you will interpret it. Let this angle be x. Remember, this angle is just an eighth of its supplement. That means if the angle is x, the supplement must be now 8x. Because if this angle is only 1 part, this one must be 8 parts. What angle is an eighth of its supplement? If the angle is x, then its supplement must be 8x. Why? The angle must be 8 times. The supplement must be 8 times. It is the angle. So when you get the angle plus its supplement, you must get 180 degrees. I think this one could be the easiest method. So when you get the angle plus its supplement, you must get 180 degrees. when you get x, this is 1x. We call it x. X plus 8x, you will get 9x, which is equal to 180 degrees. From here, we shall have to divide both sides by the coefficient. 9x divided by 9, which is equal to 180 degrees, also divided by 9. So by 9 once, by 9 once. 9 goes into itself once, it goes into 18 2 times or twice. 0 divided by 9 is 0. You must cancel it. Our category is there, not even cancelled. So our x is equal to 20 degrees. Therefore, you can summarize. Therefore, the angle is equal to 20 degrees. That is the other alternative. Probably, you may have used this one. If you may have used this one, this is very good. At this point, that is very good. You get your method mark 1 for the correct formation of the equation. Then here, you are awarded for that. You are added for that step. You are added for that step. Since you said let the angle be x, we already know the angle. You can be awarded an accuracy mark at that point. You are very accurate. So for us, we need to be very accurate. That is why engineers are always accurate. When it comes to measuring angles, he must be very accurate. Because if you measure wrongly, the building can collapse. So we need to be very accurate and very careful in each and everything we do. So that is it, that. If you use that one, bravo. Let me use the third alternative so that we can look at the second one and we see. So we are going to have our third alternative, or method 3. And we shall end on that due to time. So the other interpretation can also be what angle is an eighth of its supplement. We can assume. So we can assume, let the angle be x. If our angle is x, once we know the angle, we can also know the supplement. For instance, I was asking last time, what's the supplement of x degrees? Whereby we just get 180 degrees minus the supplement. We would have got it because this one is unknown. Now for this case, if the angle is x, then the supplement obviously must be 180 degrees minus that angle. So this is its supplement. Obviously, when you get the angle plus its supplement, you must get 180 degrees. They are supplementary angles. That is that. Remember, according to our question, they are saying this angle is just an eighth of its supplement. Meaning, if you want to get this angle, you just multiply the supplement by 8. Or you divide that supplement by 8. So this angle of ours, if you happen to interpret it in this way, is equal to an eighth of, now of, this one are two terms. We're supposed to say an eighth of this angle. This angle is just an eighth of the supplement. So to get this angle, get 1 out of 8 times it is supplement. For instance, if your angle was maybe 80 degrees, and the angle is just an eighth, it would be 1 out of 8 times 80 degrees. But now this one, we don't know the supplement. So we shall say an eighth of 180 degrees minus x. From here, we shall need to open up the brackets. And opening up the brackets here, we can use various ways. Remember, I told you this angle is just an eighth of the supplement. You can say an eighth of the supplement, or get the supplement, divide it by 8. Probably I can. Okay, let's open up brackets, then I will use also the other alternative of opening up brackets, and you see. Our x here will be equal to 1 out of 8 times 180 degrees. The term outside the bracket here, outside the brackets, must be multiplied by every term inside the brackets. So we shall have 1 out of 8 times 180 degrees. Here, since this is one term, we can say take away, get 1 out of 8 times x. Remember, all these are going to be in degrees. So here we can reduce here by 8 once. Now, when you try to analyze this question, you will find that when you divide 180 divided by 80, you will get a fraction. It will not be possible. So before you cancel, that's why I said you must be observant and very careful. Instead of dividing and get a remainder, you can leave it at this point. Then you just multiply 1 times 80 degrees . 1 times 80 degrees, because every whole number has a denominator as 1. And when you are multiplying fractions, it is numerator times numerator out of denominator times denominator. So we shall have 1 times 180 degrees, shall have 180 degrees. Out of 8 times 1, you will get 8. Here, you could even reduce by 2, or you can do it like that. Minus, now this is 1 out of 8 times x. We shall get x out of 8. So our angle here, this x is continuing here. You can continue with your x. X is equal to 180 degrees out of 8 minus x out of 8. So here we shall have x, which is equal to, now we shall now have to get the LCM of the denominators here. The LCM of 8 and 8 is just 8. So get the LCM, divide it. The lowest common multiple simply means the number that can be divided by these denominators, and you get no remainder. That's the meaning of LCM. When divide this 8 by 8, you get 1. And that 1 times 180 degrees, you will get 180 degrees. Take away. Divide, see, this 8 by 8. Divide it by 8, you get 1. 1 times x, you get x. So we are having x, which is equal to 180 degrees minus x out of 8. At this point, we can decide to multiply. Let me write what is left here. I can rub here. Our x is equal to 180 degrees minus x, everything here out of 8. So here we can decide to multiply the whole of this term by the lowest common denominator, and also this side by the lowest common denominator. Can give this one 1. So the whole of this one can be multiplied by 8, and also this one can be multiplied by 8. I'm using this method because amongst you, there could be someone who could have used this method, but are all the steps correct? Because some of you called me having fractions. So try to go through and check where you went wrong. So I'll say by 8 here once, by 8 there once. Here what I'm left with is 8 times x out of 1. I'll just get x out of 1, which is just 80x. 8 times x is 80, x out of 1, which is equal to 180 degrees minus x times 1. I will remain with 180 degrees minus x. From here, can analyze? From here, we need to bring this minus x this side. So this one we shall have 8x. When you bring this minus x this side, it will be plus x, which is equal to 180 degrees minus x plus x. We call it the additive inverse, the number which you add it to itself and you get a 0. So when you get x plus x, you get 0. You no longer have x that side. So 80x plus x, we shall get 90x, which is equal to 180 degrees. At this point, divide now both sides by the coefficient. 9x divided by 9, which is equal to 180 degrees. Divide it also by 9. Divide this 9 by 9 once. Divide also this one by 9 once. 9 divided by 9 once. Divide this 18 by 9. It is 2. When you get 18 divided by 9 is 2. You remain with nothing. This 0 divided by 9 is 0. Our x here gives us 20 degrees. You will find that we have used very many alternatives, but all our alternatives are rivals, or they lead us to the same answer. So we may have very many steps, but the answer is always 1. So you can say therefore the angle is 20 degrees, and that's where you will have to end. If we used other alternatives, check through the steps due to time. This is what we are in position to use at this time. Let's move to the second number, and we see what will happen. Whoever got it, I do hug you all. May God bless you. Number 2. The question was very clear. A few people never had it well, but those ones who called, I managed to read for them again. Number 2 was, find the supplement of x minus 20 degrees. All these are degrees. Find the supplement of x minus 20 degrees. Find the supplement of x minus 20 degrees. There are those ones who use the method of letting. Yes, you could have got the right answer, but I will use the easiest. And perhaps I will also use yours, and we see. So we normally say, if we already know the angle, find a supplement. We need the supplement of this angle. The angle which you add it to this one, and you get 180 degrees. So the supplement of x minus 20 degrees will simply be, just get 180 degrees, take away the angle, then you get the supplement. So this angle has an unknown there. So we shall say take away the two terms, x minus 20. All these are degrees. The reason why we create brackets here is that we need to take away the two terms. And when you don't create brackets, you will only take away one term. So always be very careful at this point. They normally say once bitten, twice shy. If you have ever failed this, whenever you reach at this step, be very careful so that you don't lose a mark. So we shall now have to open up our brackets. This is 180 degrees. Get this negative times x. We shall get negative x. This negative times negative 20, we shall have positive 20. Since the degrees were outside, we can put that on each. And from here, you gather or collect your like terms. 180 degrees plus, because this is plus 20. In algebra, every term moves with its sign. Plus 20 degrees. Then this is minus x degrees. So when you get 180 degrees plus 20 degrees, you will get 200 degrees minus x degrees. You can summarize by saying this is now 200 minus x. All these are degrees. And therefore, find the supplement of this angle. The supplement of this angle is 200 minus x. Those are degrees. Underline. When you are very keen at every point, there is no need of finishing your paper and maybe you see begin going through. No. Be very keen at every point. You will finish in time and you will have nothing to regret. We can use the other method very fast, perhaps, because we have to cover something else. There are those ones who are assumed. Find the supplement of this. Then they say, let the supplement be x. So that you don't use the same x because it is already used here. You use a different letter. The moment you use x, you will not get a right answer. So that is the first step you can fail. And if you are not very careful and very observant, you may end up using it because most of you are used to x. And to avoid all that, you can use such simpler approaches or methods. So when you say, you can come up with your table, or you can say, let I've used the k because x is already used here. So when you get that supplement plus this angle, you will obviously get 180 degrees. So k plus x minus 20, let me put degrees on each, must give us 180 degrees. Only this phrase, this equation can lead you to earn a method marker 1 for the correct equation. Same thing here. You can earn it at maybe after opening up brackets and an accuracy marker there. So here we shall now have, we need the x. Some people say we need to make x the subject. But we can go slowly by collecting like terms. Can say k plus x degrees. We can decide to first take this minus x the other side, or you can keep x and you first take this 20 the other side. N of the two is correct. So x plus x degrees minus x degrees minus 20 degrees. This one is equal to 180 degrees minus, minus x degrees. I must be very careful when I'm collecting like terms. You can see what is happening. Since this one was plus x, once it crosses the other side, it will be minus y. The additive inverse of plus x degrees is minus x degrees. So the additive inverse of plus x should be also the other side. So when you get k here, now plus x degrees minus x degrees down, now that is 0. So we are left with k minus 20 degrees, which gives us 180 degrees minus x degrees. Formation of your digits is very vital. So here we shall have k minus now 20 degrees. We also take this minus 20 the other side. And the additive inverse of minus 20 degrees is plus 20 degrees. So that you get a 0 here, which is equal to 180 degrees plus 20 degrees minus x degrees. Our x along this side is equal to, this is now 200 degrees minus x degrees. Remember, you said let your supplement be k. Therefore, k is equal to 200 minus x. All these are degrees. So you can say that is your supplement. Or you can say, if your k is this, you can summarize by saying, therefore, the supplement of these is that. It's very correct. I think we can use those few approaches or methods to come to our answer. That was our assignment. And I hope whoever used those techniques must have got the answer right. If you failed, check, and you make your corrections. We are going to look at something small, and we call it a day. With those few remarks about our assignment, we may not be in a position to move to the next subtopic. But what I can advise you, all candidates outside there, it is only practice that makes perfect. Whenever you do something you know several times,